Welcome to another episode of Toya Talks Wrestling. And in this episode today, we're going to talk about the segment between um, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, Paul Heyman, and a debut of a new Bloodline member. Okay, so on Smackdown. So basically, now that Cody Rhodes has won, I guess he gets the Bloodline perks of when Roman Reigns is champion, with being in like a special locker room and everything else. So there's a scene backstage where there's Jimmy Uso, Paul Heyman, and Solo Sikoa, and they're like in the backstage, and they're about to go into what normally would be Roman Reigns' locker room, but now it has like the American Nightmare on there and everything else. Now it's his locker room because he's a champion now. You have Kevin Owens because like he goes past him and says you're not invited. But there's like a broom closet over there, whatever, and then he goes back into the room and Solo's like, "Don't worry, I'll take care of it." And Paul Heyman's like, "No, you can't take care of it because you see, there's around here there's wins and losses mean something. Roman Reigns lost, therefore he can't have that locker room anymore. Therefore, he can't have the things that we used to have and stuff like that." Basically saying, well, we have to get that title, the belt back, and we can get back all the perks that we had before. Right? And I guess Solo was like shaking his head or whatever. And so then they end up going into the ring, and Paul Heyman was basically saying how the tribal chief is not going to make any excuses to why he lost. You know, he didn't blame John Cena. He didn't blame Jey Uso. He didn't blame The Undertaker. You know, Paul Heyman was explaining how, like, last year in WrestleMania 39, how Cody Rhodes got distracted by Solo and he dropped the ball, and Roman Reigns took advantage of that and ended up, retaining his title. He said the same thing happened with Roman Reigns with Seth Rollins. When he seen Seth Rollins with the Shield gear on, it brought back old wounds, and obviously he wanted revenge. And he's like, Roman Reigns had an opportunity to hit Cody Rhodes, which was legal because it's Bloodline rules, but he chose to hit Seth Rollins instead, and he dropped the ball, and Cody Rhodes picked up on it and got the win, and he's now your new WWE Undisputed Champion. And then Heyman was about to explain how, Roman Reigns is going to come back. By then, that time, Solo, interrupted him and basically says that losses cause consequences, right? And Paul Heyman's like, yes. And then he kind of like not pushes, but like kind of like moves Paul Heyman to the side and looks at Jimmy, because as you know, Jimmy lost his match at WrestleMania, and Jimmy is like, "What? You're talking to me? You're thinking about me? Like, what the hell?" Like, he's about to square up with his brother Solo and everything else. And Solo, kind of gives him like that side man hug. He says, "You're my brother. I love you." Then the next thing you know, he walks away. I thought maybe it was gonna give him a Samoan spike, but instead, we got a guy in a black hoodie and what is with the Samoans and the black hoodies? I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, we got a man with the black hoodie on, basically beating the crap out of Jimmy. Paul Heyman is like freaking out somewhere in the corner somewhere of the ring. This guy is just beating the crap out of him. He reveals himself, and I might mess up the name, I'm so sorry. I'll put it on the screen. But Tamatonga, I think. Tamatonga? I don't know. I think that's how you say it. If I say it wrong, I apologize. But I will write the name on the screen. But Tama Tonga revealed himself. I guess he was from like he's been in Japan, and that he's gonna obviously be a new member of the Bloodline. So he basically beat the crap out of Jimmy, and then Solo came in and gives Jimmy a couple of Samoan spikes to the neck, and we basically just effed Jimmy up so damn bad. It was just horrible. And then got the chair. He told Tama to go get a chair. He got a chair. He put Jimmy in the corner and put the chair around the neck. Told him that he loved him. Solo told Jimmy that he loved him. I mean, I would hate to see if he hated him, but and he did the like the Rikishi splash with the hip thing, like the whatever with the hip thing, and he did that. Jimmy's laid out. Like Paul Heyman's freaking out. Obviously, this is not like what he had planned or what anybody planned or whatever. I don't know. He goes over. Solo goes over there, and he pulled like kind of a put Roman, like not Roman, but he put he got Paul Heyman, and he comes to the middle, and he's like, they do the ones, put the ones up for the Bloodline and stuff like that. And, Paul Heyman is like nervous as hell. And he's doing it, but on the other hand, he's calling Roman Reigns. And then Solo Sikoa grabbed the phone and said, "You ain't calling nobody." And he's like smashes the phone. He stomps on the phone like a couple of times and everything else. And then like I said, like Paul Heyman was like scared. He was confused. They leave the ring, like Jimmy's hurt and everything else, and then you see them again later on, and like you see Paul Heyman backstage. One of the interviewers, I think it was Kayla, goes and asks him about what happened out in the ring, and he's just like, "I don't know," and he's like, "Is Jimmy okay?" And he's like shaking his head, and then the guy Tama Tonga comes out and says, just looks at him and says, "By orders of the tribal chief." And then you see Solo, like he's looking at his tape thumb, looking at Paul Heyman, he's like smirking, and he walks away. And I'm just like, did we have a new tribal chief? like, because obviously this was not like Roman's thing. Because I was like, why would he Roman's thing? Because I mean, Paul Heyman would be trying to call Roman if he knew about this. So I'm thinking, maybe is The Rock behind this? Is this The Rock? Is this the final boss? Is the final boss now the new tribal chief? Because I mean, they said there were consequences of losing, and if you remember that The Rock didn't lose on Saturday, right? He pinned Cody Rhodes 1, 2, 3. But Roman Reigns lost on Sunday. Jimmy lost on Saturday. So are consequences? I don't know. I don't know. Or it could be Solo acting on his own. Who knows, right? I have no idea. But I know it's not Roman. I have no idea who it is. I'm thinking it's probably The Rock, and I'm thinking that this could be the final thing for the Civil War, because I think they have like another person, like the Fatu guy coming, and I think they have another guy like Zilla. Is that his name? Coming. What I think is gonna happen, right? That this will eventually be like The Rock's bloodline, which will have probably like The Rock, Solo, the Tama guy, and maybe Fatu. And then on the other side, you have like the original bloodline start, which would be like Roman Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso, and like maybe Zilla. So So then we go to Survivor Series, and they'll have War Games. That's what I'm thinking. And from there, you probably will end up with Rock versus Roman at WrestleMania 41, if it's done right. But the whole segment was so damn good. It was so damn good. I love it. The last Raw was like amazing. This Smackdown was pretty good. Like, I don't know, dude. Like, I love what Paul Heyman. I love what Paul Levesque Triple H is doing right now, and I'm feeling it. I know there's not gonna be a lot of big storylines because, as we said in a previous video with Tim on TT Wrestling, there is going to be a draft. But this right here, I could see going to War Games, Civil War, for sure. Rock's Bloodline versus Roman Reigns' Bloodline. I love it. I mean, from this angle already, it's already making Roman Reigns like a face, like a huge face. Roman Reigns wasn't even there, obviously, but yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. I'm invested already. Once again, I've gotten invested in a good blood storyline. I've been waiting for the Civil War for like a while. I'm so glad that it finally happened. But that is all I have to say. If you haven't seen that segment yet, I'll try to find link, and I'll put in find links at Anyways, thanks so much for watching. I hope you have a great day. Bye.